when I go on at 7 o'clock. You know, it's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my kitchen though. I'm not in my drop top. Cruising the streets. Shut the fuck up. What up, everybody? You know what I mean? Yesterday, we had some technical difficulties right there. Shorty, after she said she was a mental assassin, I guess her Wi-Fi got assassinated. Now I guess you like how I did that? Plot myself. Let me pour up a drink. You already know. I'm already there. It is Friday night. We about to get right. I'm about to bring on this TRIAD from Arizona. They from the canyons. We getting them out there. There's poly everywhere. I'm more sure a couple of people are familiar with it. Yo, you paused that? I knew you was high. You was just there. But yeah, they're from Arizona. They did the Don't Rush challenge. They own little shindig. It was actually kind of fly. They are a very beautiful couple. Very, very beautiful couple. Let me make sure they ain't tap in yet if I could bring them on. And talk about more about them. A different vibe, I will say that. A very different vibe. Give them a couple more minutes. I know they were at the Poly Time, I do believe. You know what I mean? I'm not real familiar with where they were at, but they were at the Black Poly Nation. I've been following them for a minute. Just seeing because they have their own podcast too. I catch every episode. I can't promise to sit there and say I catch every episode they do, but I know they got a lot of things going on. So they are very positive people to actually have on, and very beautiful. You know what I mean? And let me see. My bad. I'm still kind of new at adding people on. There they go right there. Let me go ahead and bring them on. Yo, hey, you know how to get my Henny. What up, family?
What's up now?
What's up with y'all? Man, I've been waiting to do this shit with y'all. When I told y'all last time on the late night when y'all was just chilling.
Right.
How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Oh, y'all trying to do the adjustment. You got the check mix and everything.
Right.
We get right.
There you go, Shante.
Oh, what's good with y'all? Y'all doing good tonight? Or this afternoon? What?
Yeah, it's like 5 over here.
Yo, where y'all from?
AZ, Arizona.
I keep trying to tell it, look, because I don't know nothing about from Arizona. Y'all feel me? Big shout out to y'all out there. Big shout out to No, but for those that don't know, you know what I mean, anything about y'all, just about y'all want to introduce yourselves and say what kind of party y'all do?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm Shante, as you guys all know.
I'm James.
And I'm Shayla, and so we're in a closed triad.
Yeah.
All right. And what's called I know y'all do I'm gonna get to that later. But what's called who was together first? For those that don't know.
So first it was myself and James. We've been together since high school or so.
Right. And then we added Shante probably a year and a half.
Yeah, about a year and a half ago.
Whose idea was it?
So I feel like we've always been poly, but it wasn't until we introduced Shante that she really found the poly community and introduced it to us. So we used to do stuff like other stuff back in the day when we were in high school and stuff, but we had never had a secure long-term girlfriend. And I want to say when we made the decision that we want someone constant, around, I think it took another year and a half or 2 years before we even.
Yeah, but, it was like both of us really, because we had this thing where if she said no, it was no questions. Then the girl is out of the question, or if vice versa. If I said no, then because we had previous women that wanted to get involved with us, but it was she said no or I said no, and it was it's no argument.
Right, there's no questioning about it.
Yeah, I like that.
Both agreed on Shante pretty quickly though.
Yeah, what made it be official with her? What juice did she bring to the table?
So obviously she's beautiful.
Yes.
But she really fits in with our vibe. Like even just from the first time that me and Shante met, and we had our date, it was our first meeting. It was just me and her. Like, we hit it off really good immediately. So, and we hadn't ever had that happen with anyone else. It was like, okay, she's cool, or all right, cool. But she really just fit in with our lifestyle and the way that we are already. So
that's live. That's live. Shante, how did you feel like getting approached and everything? Like, how was that situation for you?
I mean, it was a little weird because I've only been, monogamous for since I was 16. So being approached with the idea, I was like, oh, you know what? Why not?
Had a good approach to it, I'd say. Like, she introduced us to the poly community and Black Poly Nation, and she got on her books and everything. So.
Yeah.
I did the research because I didn't know what it was, and it was like foreign to me. You know what I mean? So I'm the one that, did all the research, looked on Facebook and found all of the groups that are on there. I had no idea, like, it was such a huge thing, especially with Black people. Typically, you see this type of stuff, people think Caucasian, but no, like,
the whole community.
We in it.
Yeah, we in it. And then it was crazy, right? Because y'all are all beautiful. And I mean, you're charming, sir. You know what I mean? I don't want to throw you in the mix like that. But yeah, what you call it? It fucks everybody up when they see beautiful poly people doing it. Like, yo, usually it's ugly people doing this shit. You know what I mean? And it throws them off. That's why, I love bringing everybody. And it's no offense, I bring everybody on, but especially if you look like you holding it down, I got to bring y'all on to show the community, hey, we out here, we doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all been together for how long? All three of y'all?
About 1.5 years.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in January.
Yeah.
2 years? Yeah, shit, that's what's up. That's what's up. And is there any opportunity to bring, I know y'all, look, I heard y'all's podcast. Look, people need to understand, when I bring people on, I already did my background. I've been watching. I watch everybody. You know what I mean? I'm like that nosy neighbor. I'll be all up in my blinds like shy. I'm seeing y'all. But I know y'all discuss it on y'all's podcast, like, bringing other people, maybe and having fun with it or whatever and all that. Like, is that something y'all still do and everything?
Yeah, so we haven't brought in a fourth person to have fun with at all. I don't think we're open to permanently bringing a fourth person in, but we got Shante on board for a fourth person for some fun. For a birthday or something.
I can't do another
person. It's a lot, right? It's a lot, like, for fun, you know what I mean? I heard y'all was locked in, but that's live because you don't hear a lot of other triads sit there and say shit for fun, and everybody agree, like, shit, hell yeah. You're reserved. But that's live, so I listen to y'all's podcast. Yo, anybody that don't know what the podcast is, you want to let them know where they can find it and what it's called? Because I just seen someone ask, they have a podcast, so you can drop that on them.
Yeah, it's on all podcast platforms. It's called 3 Relationship Goals with the number 3, like relationships, but it's 3 relationship goals. And it just talks about everything poly, everything non-monogamous, and we get personal on there. We talk about our personal triumphs and shit we go through. But we try to make it friendly for the whole non-monogamous community.
Yes. Very good, entertaining podcast. I be tuning in. I work a lot, so I put the headphones on. I catch up on everybody's shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Do any of y'all have kids?
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think someone put it in the comments, but they spelled it out there right. 3 relationship goals.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, how long you been with your ladies? If you don't mind.
Going on 4 years now. 4 years.
Damn.
4 years, 3 kids, 2 kids with the first, and then another kid on the way with the second.
Okay.
Congratulations.
It's all challenges. But talking about that, do any of y'all got kids? Y'all got kids together?
I have a daughter, but it's outside of these two. It was prior to me getting with them.
Okay. Do y'all plan to have children?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Both want kids, and they on my ass.
Well, definitely discussed it. But back to the podcast. I also heard. Look, I heard you had rules at the beginning. You know what I mean? I heard you, there was different challenges and different things at the beginning. You want to kind of enlighten on those rules and the reasons you had them in play?
Yeah, so I would say the rules stem from while me and James were kind of doing our open thing and dipping our toes into poly, kind of just having fun. We had certain rules. So with Shante being our first, kind of permanent and serious polyamorous relationship, at first, just by habit, we thought to bring those rules in, right? To make sure that as a unit we're secure. But very, very quickly, you come to find out that you can have boundaries, of course, but you can't overstep those rules and have too many constraining rules where the third person either isn't aware or doesn't agree or something like that. So that's kind of, I would say, where our talks kind of started between the three of us is, okay, well, we can't really have that rule anymore because that wouldn't be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
That was something pretty early on we had to do that we talked about.
Yeah, it's most definite. You know what I mean? That's one thing we had to do. We got kind of everything into play because I always tell people the hierarchy system, I'm against it, but at the beginning it's kind of like a monogamous relationship. I can't give you all. We can't give you all of us. We got to see where you're at. You know what I mean? So it is going to kind of be in play. It don't mean to be in there, but it has to be in play until we get comfortable having you around to see what we're doing this for. So yeah, I respect that. That's why when I heard you break down the rules, I was like, okay, I like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shante, how was it coming into you weren't intimidated by their relationship that they already had established, were you? Was it an easy trying to transition coming into the family?
Yeah, it was easy. I mean, at first, like, there were some things that I didn't know if I did that would, like, I didn't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable, or I didn't want to, like, cross any boundaries or anything like that. But I'm an outspoken person, so that's where all these talks would come into play. Because I mean, if I did something or I didn't like something, I would let them know, and then we would all come together and kind of talk about it. But
quick,
yeah.
And that's one thing we learned too. It has to be pretty quick to bring it up, so it doesn't turn into little trivial fights along the way. But that's even something today that we deal with, trivial fights, just because like a regular relationship.
That's facts.
Where like we did hold shit in, and then it turns into much bigger than it should have been, and then we talk about it, and everything is good, and be like, that shit was unnecessary for the most part.
Yeah.
So
James, have you ever had to calm situations? Have they escalated pretty bad that you had to really jump in and just calm the situation down, or do you let them, because I always tell everybody, the women run the relationship. Right. In the day, if they bad, it's funny, right? Because I can have an off day with Chantel, and this motherfucker will still have a great day with Shalon. But you know what I mean? Let them have an off day. My whole day is shitty. Like I don't need it. I have to go find peace within them.
I agree with you on that. Because if I have an off day with him, they're great, but my day is fucked up, and I'm over here trying to play
nice with me,
right.
and not be mad at me because
it's annoying.
And then I'm like, what the fuck? So, how many times have you like kind of brought balance in between it? Is it hard to actually get them to talk to them to kind of, mend the peace again?
To be honest, with them, they talk it out quick. Cause what I told them when we first started was like, we ain't official until y'all have y'all first argument and we get past that, because we gonna butt heads and we gonna fight, and it's gonna feel normal. But when with them two arguing and they can get over that first little argument and still be solid, that's when we're official. But they arguments, they don't even, I can't say they even have like huge arguments. They just they have like disagreements and they talk it out quick. But if it's me and Shayla or me and Shante, we fight, and it's like not never the end of it. But they pretty good with the whole disagreement and talking.
That's the main part. Communication.
We don't really argue that much, really.
Right, they mesh real good. That's
right. We honestly we do mesh really, really good. And some people don't believe it. Like me and her really don't argue. We just don't have never but heads that way. We're both pretty logical and pretty level-headed. So we just talk it out essentially. But I think this one he's super petty. So
damn, blow up the spot.
Super petty. So I think Shantae's played the middleman between me and James, definitely, and I played the middleman between James and Shante, but James hasn't had to play middleman very much, like too often. There's been a few times, but
it's nothing like huge.
It's not, yeah, it's like
screaming at each other, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's live. That's what's up. I love how y'all handle it. Y'all are actually aware of what it takes to actually keep everything balanced. Right. You know what I mean? Because things can get out of hand, and I love that you're so quick action with it. Because if you don't handle it quickly, the shit just drags and it creates a creature. It creates negativity in the household, and that's what people don't really want to be around. Yeah, that's what's up. Yo, the don't rush challenge. Let me jump on that real quick. The don't rush challenge. Whose idea was that?
Shante.
It was Shante.
Hey,
like, can we please do the challenge?
Right.
I like how y'all did it. Y'all brought the creativity with it and everything. I thought y'all was gonna add it to the other one too. You know how everybody else did it to the thing. I guess you know.
They didn't reach out to us. That's why we kind of just did our own thing.
Right.
Yeah, and it still came out dope. It still came out dope. There was much love on that. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, they would have put a little sexiness. He said, I refuse everybody that come in. For those that don't know, I'm gonna share it on the page. I'm gonna try to put on the story and everything so they can see it, because that shit was live. I'm glad y'all really did that and everything. Actually put yourself in that position, learning about the community and seeing how expanded. Because y'all went to Polytime, right? How was that at Polytime?
It was really fun. We had a really good time. Yeah, it was nice being able to be, because you know we're in Arizona, so you don't really see Black poly people. So it was nice going to Atlanta, first of all, and it was nice being able to be surrounded by other people that support or that's a part of it, or meeting other poly people or poly couples. It was really nice. I had a good time.
Yeah, I'd say we all had a really good time. That was one of our first events from Black Poly Nation, period. It was a surprise for James. It was his birthday that week. So we went all out and we had a really, really good time. So we're excited the next event.
Y'all coming to the one in Houston?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we're gonna come. So
I'll be out there.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah.
I'll be out there. But being monogamous, right? Okay, James, did y'all have like, because me and Shalom, we used to have threesomes and everything before going into, because we didn't know what poly was. Is that kind of similar to what y'all did? Would y'all do? No, y'all never did none of that before?
No, we did that. We just didn't know it was poly.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing like, oh shit, hold on, let me pin this real quick, because people keep asking about y'all's podcast. So whoever did that, thank y'all. If I could pin it real quick, because I'm trying to talk and actually do this shit. But yeah, so converting over, right, from being in a monogamous relationship to a poly relationship, what are the differences that you see that are actually more better and enhancing your relationship? I don't want to say it makes it better, because I hate when people sit there and say, oh, well, you didn't have enough in your first relationship. It's like, no, it's just, our relationship was already structured. It already had everything there for it. This was just an addition. This was just, it expanded. You know what I mean? It was more of a beautiful thing. Like, what made it more better to have this balance within your relationship and feel like this is for you?
I mean, I just feel like it's like you said, it ain't. I don't feel like it made it better, but it did enhance it. Where like again, like when we fight and me and Shayla going back and forth, and sometimes Shante, like she said, she's outspoken and she's not scared to tell Shayla like, okay, you're wrong this time. And then it comes off, it's off of me saying it, like, because we're arguing. So it's Shante coming in and saying, Shayla, you're wrong. And then, or saying, James, you're wrong. And we can both look at it like, okay, they both not telling me I'm full of shit. And it just kind
of brings balance, I would say, in addition to it. And then it brings a whole new perspective, because never in a monogamous relationship am I going to be able to witness him falling in love with someone else, right?
Right.
And one word I always bring up is the compersion word, because the opposite of jealousy, and just because to me that really brings me joy to see that, because you don't get to see that when you're in a monogamous relationship, because you're doing the falling in love and the learning and stuff. So it's, to me, it's really, really cool to see him learn her, and then I find amusement in helping her learn him. Like when I know little stuff about him, me and Shante have those talks all the time about, like, you know, how he is this way or how he is that way, and like how long, what I did to try to help it. And so we really have each other's back in that sense of it, especially when we're arguing with him. Me and her definitely we have to talk and be like, okay, so right, so you know how he is, babe. So like, where should we go? Like, what are we doing from here? So I think, again, it just brings brand new perspectives to a relationship, just like you said, that was already established, already balanced.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. I would say that's the biggest thing. And then you learn more about yourself too.
Facts. That's the part I was waiting to hear. Yeah.
You learn so much more about yourself.
It's really self-awakening, because like how you were kind of bringing it down to see the person you love fall in love with another person, learn them in that perspective. And then now you're challenging yourself emotionally. Now you're, you know, at the same time you have enjoyment and love for it, but at the same time, that monogamous state, you know, mind state is like, shit, wait a minute. What the fuck? You know what I mean? And so now you're going through all these, and you're actually learning yourself throughout this process of how much you could take, learn how to see in a different view, to bring enjoyment still from it. You know, and it's so challenging, and you grow and understand things in a different perspective. So that was dope that you was touching on it. You know what I mean? How do y'all's families feel? You know, all three of y'all. Like, how did y'all's family members feel about this?
So my family, the only person, well, I have two people that I know of. No, and that's two sisters. And it took them a little bit to know that I was bi, because, you know, again, I've been with a man ever since I was, like, you know, with a relationship with a man since I first started dating. So it kind of, you know, shocked them a little bit to know that I was bi and that I was interested in women. And then when they found out, you know, there was a man involved too, they was like, what the fuck? Our two are like, you know, what's going
on? What kind of party is this? No?
Arizona, you know, no, but that's foreign to people.
Don't see it. Yeah.
So, you know, as of now, those are the only two people that know. I plan on telling other people when I'm ready. I'm not quite ready to break that news to them, but yeah, that's for me.
Yeah. I'd say baby steps that both me and Shante have taken. Myself, I told my mom, so she's kind of like the main person that I wanted to know, because she'll probably end up telling my siblings anyways.
How it is with family. That's how it is with family.
Right. And I don't have like a whole bunch of family. I only have a handful of immediate family that would know, you know, that I would actually tell. So right now it's just my mom, but it was kind of funny telling her, because same thing, I had to kind of come out as like, I'm sexually interested in and I'm attracted to women as well. And so she was like, so, you know, you consider yourself bi then? I'm like, yes, I do. And she made a funny comment, because she's like, well, are you sure it's not going to end badly? And I was like, well, no, hopefully not. Why do you say that? She's like, well, because whenever I see it ends badly. I'm like, well, where are you seeing it at? She's like, well, like Lifetime TV. You know? I'm like, well, that's TV.
Right, that's why.
You know, and it's super dramatic. So I'm like, but, you know, it had already been almost a year in when I was telling her. So I just told her, I was like, I feel like it's important at this point for you to know, because she's in our life. She's going to be in our life. And she kind of had some questions about marriage and kids and stuff. But that's about it. You know, she doesn't hit on it too much more. And she told me not to tell my dad yet.
Oh, how do you think he's going to take the news?
I think he's just going to be surprised and a little confused. I think to him, he's going to be like, well, why? Right. You know, why are you, what's the point, you know, type of thing. But of course, they're also old school, you know, you know, they're not really, I had to tell my mom, you know, there's a whole community out there of Black people who do this.
Actually living like it.
Right, exactly.
And pretty much my whole family knows from my part. So like when it's family events on my end, they both can come, and pretty much my family didn't really ask too many questions. I mean, they asked them questions more than they asked me questions, you know. So they like, if it worked for you, then whatever, that's the fuck. But
yeah, that's how it was with my like my family. They rock with it, and in the same way y'all described it, you know, because Sean's family rocked with it instantly too, and Chantel's, you know, her mother didn't know. And then we did the radio interview, and the radio dude was like, well, shit, she gonna know now. You know what I mean? So eventually she knew then. But her pops, like, he knows, but he doesn't know. And mind you, Chantel's pregnant. So, yeah, it's it baby steps. Some families just need babysitters. It's the old school shit. It's just, that what?
He still don't know still right now?
I don't think he still knows. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he's there, but he's not there sometimes. So you know, I don't know. He gonna know at the damn what is it? The diaper party? The diaper party? I don't even know. He gonna know then. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a. Let me get to these questions. Everybody been writing questions real quick. Do y'all ever fight over the remote before bed?
Yeah.
I was about to say shit.
Fight over the remote. I say turn off the TV because I like to sleep in the pitch dark quiet. These two, they want to turn on some Forensic Files or Law and Order. I don't want to hear that back.
I can't sleep when it's like silent like that. I mean, I can, but I prefer to have some shit that I'm not interested in. And then, like, I can just pass out.
Yeah. Who watches the what you say? Forensic Files and what else?
So me and James are really big into those shows: Forensic Files, Law and Order, CSI, Criminal Minds, all that good stuff.
Look, everybody I do an interview with, I had to find out, especially if it's the women, because that's what they watch. So I'm just trying to see if they trying to off me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you trying to hide the clues? No. Does it matter if your family is accepting of your lifestyle?
I would say for me, yeah, it matters. I would prefer for them to accept the lifestyle, obviously. And I would hope that it wouldn't butt heads. But if at the end of the day, you know, I have to think about my happiness. And if this does truly bring me happiness, then why wouldn't they be happy about it?
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly right. Like that. That's what I had to tell kind of Chantel with the situation. I was like, no matter, regardless, whatever plays out, we have to understand one thing. Because I have a daughter. I have a son. So if my daughter was in the same situation, somebody could tell me something that I'm not going to see till they're blue in the face. You know what I mean? Within time, you have to trust in that it's going to show. So within time with their family, I just tell her I have to just prove it within time. You know what I mean? They'll understand that I'm being genuine. I am here for you. We are here to uplift each other. And, you know, I mean the best for you in your life. Because, you know, family will come around. It's family. Family's going to love you regardless.
Love you. Right.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's facts. I agree with that all the way. And like I said, they wrote a couple of questions. What y'all's ages?
I'm 30.
I'm 28.
And I'm 25.
See, yeah, look. Y'all getting up there to my age. 37. I'm almost 40. I say 40. I don't give a fuck. I round it off. There's a lot of categories. What categories which do you fall under? They're a triad. If y'all did not catch the beginning, would y'all consider yourselves a closed triad? Open triad? Yeah. Closed triad?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do y'all feel, before I go to the next question, because there's still so many questions popping up, and I know this shit's only for an hour. I'm trying to get to their questions. How do y'all feel about the poly community, like, always frowning down upon the triads, especially the closed triads?
So I think it kind of stems from it being a secondary monogamous relationship, right? That's the next most popular, most accepted type of relationship after monogamous and the LGBTQ community and everything. That's the next closest acceptable thing. So that's, like, society is what they're going to cleave to, what everybody cleaves to. But if you're really understanding poly and you really are thinking about the roots of it, you understand that it's not just limited to 3. Yes, maybe 3 is what works for a lot of people or what people are aware of, but hey, you know, if it ends up being more, then it's more people.
Right, and I know it works. So I mean, that's all that matters. I mean, because I feel like both of them is. I can't deal with no more. If I'm being honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I mean, to each his own. Everybody got their thing. If they want a quad or however it is, they can do that. But at the end of the day, is what makes us happy.
That part. That's why I try to tell everybody, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, when they're like, well, they frown down on TRIAD, I said, well, people tend to forget we have the choice. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can have the discussion if we want to add somebody else, if we don't want to add somebody else, we're at peace with. You know, your situation, maybe it didn't work out for you. That's why you thought you had to go solo poly or add another person, whatever. Our situation is kind of balanced at the moment, and we're just going to take that. So to be frowned upon on something that's successful that you couldn't meet, you know what I mean? It really means shit to me. Like,
nothing. Right.
Nothing. Yeah, saying like, but I have to ask that question because it is something that's out there. Yo, when I see people are writing so many fucking questions, it is getting ridiculous. I'm trying to keep up with these joints.
Yeah, I'm glad they got questions though.
Yeah. Look, do either of the ladies have children by other men?
No children.
No kids.
Not yet.
Oh, y'all ready for that? I was almost out the gate.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for that? Y'all want anytime soon?
Yeah. And then definitely in the next handful of years.
Because I already told him I'm getting old. Okay, I'm already okay, after a while my eggs ain't gonna be working.
Well, she old though.
And she's not.
Have there ever been any fights over the dynamic of different sex drives? They went to you instantly. Damn, is your sex drive high?
Really high.
Really high.
I feel like I think because I always want to have sex, but I can't help it. But I mean, he's you know, he's kind of put me in a place, so I haven't.
He just fucked 3-4 times. Like,
chill out. Even like, I don't want to, you know, all y'all want to do is fuck. I want to hang out and chill with y'all.
Yeah. Put on a soap opera. What's on Lifetime? I ain't trying.
Now I don't even say nothing. Whenever he want to fuck, then that's what
they get to grab and shit. They got their signs when they want to tell me like, come on, it's time.
Yo, so look, you know, I went out, right, and then I bought like $100 worth of sex toys, like 150. I was like, look, hold on, I'm gonna need some assistance. See, you know,
right. I bought them 2 already. They didn't like the first one so much. I thought it was a good one. I spent a little pretty penny on it, but I just bought them another one, and they both like that one. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep on buying.
I don't think people understand. I take the time too, so I'm looking at reviews for them. Like, oh shit, they said this 5 stars right here. So I'm good. This is good.
Yes, but we don't fight about it. But
that's live. Why someone wrote y'all fight? Oh, but do you have guests on the podcast? If so, how can I get on? That's King ID.
Okay, yeah, we have guests on the podcast. We're trying to get more guests on the podcast, so just inbox us and we'll go over like what we can talk about, what we can discuss on it.
And when would be best and things like that. But we're definitely open to it. It's more so the planning stage because we definitely want to get, you know, Porter family, all of you guys on our podcast and everything.
Yeah, most definitely.
A list of people. So it's more so making sure time, days, and everything are coordinate. Since it's so many people, you have to kind of coordinate with. So.
Right, and it got to make sense too. Like you gotta. You know, we can just
bring something to the podcast.
Right.
Yo, that's what I always say, especially doing these joints. I be telling people, hold on, if I don't know them and I ain't done no research on them, I always let's talk in the DMs real quick, so I gotta know what I'm bringing on, because if not, we're gonna be talking about nothing, and I ain't with it.
Exactly.
Well, definitely. Hold on, someone wrote a paragraph. I might have to read this shit to you. Wait, I'm probably curious. I would like to know what advice you have to someone that's open to a couple but has multiple children? How would you recommend? And it cuts off. I guess I guess how would you recommend shit, you have someone that
a couple and the
kids.
person has the kids.
yeah, I guess she has a whole bunch of kids. She has the kids, and then she's trying to open it up to the couple. What would y'all recommend? Honesty, right? I mean, shit, they
Right.
Take it slowly, because remember your kids are in the picture, and then obviously the couple has to be open to accepting kids. So that would be something I feel like in the very beginning. Yeah.
Is she saying do she got kids or do they have kids?
I think she has kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I would say that is kind of a lot for a couple to take in, whether they have kids or not already. You know, taking on additional kids. So it's just, I feel like, take it slow for the kids' sake, and then communicate and talk about it at the very beginning of the relationship.
Right. Just like if you was in meeting a man or a woman being monogamous, like you don't let everybody meet your kids. So you want to take it slow and make sure it's going somewhere before you bring your kids involved. And it's
most
really
definitely
them if they want to accept your your
partners.
Kids. Right.
Yeah, most definitely, because that right there. Would you consider being guests on my podcast in the near future? Shit.
DM us.
Like
Yeah.
If it makes
They
sense.
open to everything. They got their own podcast. You shit. So they willing to talk. That's why you hitting them up. They were gonna be dropping in Jewels today. You know what I mean? Would y'all do a marriage ceremony? Oh, what up, Prince?
Hey, what's up?
Sure. Yes, we will. I'm not sure. Yeah, because before I came into the picture, they had their plans to get married. And I told them, like, because I've been married before, and I told them that marriage wasn't one of those big things on my to-do list. But since this is, I want this to be my last relationship, if a marriage ceremony for all of us, for them to commit to me, or we're committed, but to fully commit, and vice versa, then I would be open to doing that.
Right, and we're saying like for all three of us to like share a ceremony as well for when we cross that line. But again, like any other relationship, we want to make sure it's secure. Not saying that it's not, but we just want
that we're there.
Like, time and time. But we'll definitely share that. Give Shante something to like say that was hers and ours all together.
To commit to. Facts. Because you got to build, with everything when it's all three of y'all, and it's just separately individually. Because that's one thing I always tell Shalon, like our history has so much that we have established. I'm already in the mix building with Shalon. I mean Chantel. Look, I don't know why the fuck I ended the game both shut and shut. You know what I mean? I get confused right there.
Shante and
Shayla, look, I'll tell you, it's something like fuck. It's a tongue twister, but yeah, I still gotta establish because with Shalon I have 20 years. With Chantel, it's 4 years. That we're still kind of establishing. Not that it hasn't been bad, but we've been establishing very well. But that history, you can never really match it. You just really just build and develop and try to get that bond.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, there's so many fucking questions. It is so fucking crazy. What advice would y'all give to a couple venturing into poly life?
Just understand that your first relationship might not work. So don't if it's something you're interested in, don't give up if the first one don't work. We're just fortunate that we both got Shante and we feel like we mesh. But a lot of people try out being polyamorous, and they feel like, if the first one failed, then it's not for them. But just like any monogamous relationship, some fail and some teach you something, and some you just learn from. I feel like just don't give up on it if that's what you really want to do, because maybe you just haven't found your 2 or 3 or however it is that you're doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'd say don't be afraid to shoot your shot. That's something James always told me in the beginning. Like, you need to speak up. Like, babe, if you think she's cute or blah, 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 say something to her, because you never know what people, like, the worst they can say is no.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he had to tell me that all the time. But shoot your shot. If it's a couple, hey, ask. Be respectful about it. I would probably approach the woman, if you're coming on as a single to a couple, but shoot your shot and don't force anything, like James said. If it doesn't work with that couple, doesn't work, don't be afraid to try again if it doesn't work out with specific people.
Most definitely. Let me ask this question: as a couple, what challenges did y'all see? Man, I fucking hate to call it unicorn hunting. I don't know what I call it. I think that's just so weird. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like, what challenges did y'all meet as a couple when y'all were
just searching out for
searching out? Yeah, thank you for the save.
We actually found Shante when we stopped actively looking. Like we were looking, and then it was like I said in the beginning, like either she'll not like them or I'll not like them, and then it's just like, all right, fuck it, like it is what it is. And then so happily I worked with Shante at the time, and then I had them, like, it made sense, and I approached her, and she said she maybe was interested, but she wanted to talk to Shayla, so they met, and then it worked out. But like I said, like, we stopped actively looking because it was just we wasn't
because you there's not a lot of platforms, like he said.
Right,
so
and we didn't
know about poly, so we didn't know about Black Poly Nation or anything. We were more probably dipping into swinger sites than we were into poly sites. And then a lot of people say they're with the shits through text message or whatever, and then they ain't really with the shits. Right. So you got a lot of trial and error. Because even with Shante, like, the first time I met her and he was telling me, like, hey, like, blah, 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 I've been texting her, we're going to meet up. I was kind of like, yeah. But even in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, she probably won't even meet. Like, these girls keep saying that, this date, this time, and then it's, you don't hear from them, or they're not with it. Like, they kept saying, that they're with it. But Shante was there, we met, and she was actually true to what she was saying. She wasn't putting up a front. So biggest is the front. The frustration, them pretending.
Because that's the importance. I think everything being organic, you know what I mean? Like, when y'all stopped going for the search, it organically came to you, you know what I mean? Because you can't really force something on somebody. Yes, that's really, really dope. Look, I have this saying, right? And I'm going to convert it to a question. I still got mad questions, but man, I got to try to get my questions in too. So I'm not the one doing the damn interview. But, I have this saying to Shalon and Chantel, I believe a successful relationship is only successful as how they handle their bad times. What is, like, one of the worst times? Yeah, because, to me, it's like this. If we could get through all the bad times together, then we ain't got to worry about the good times. You feel me? You know what I mean? So I think a successful relationship really depends on how we handle the bad times. What are some of the bad times that you feel that almost made you question on giving it up, but you pushed through?
Damn!
Well, here, I got an answer. So, essentially,
sorry, I got to think about it.
I think in the beginning it was little things. Like, it could be almost anything for us to be like, let's stop. Stop, let's time out. Just because we were new to this relationship. But I think the biggest thing is just communicating and compromising. In a monogamous relationship, you have to compromise, but I feel like in a polyamorous, you compromise even more. Without completely sacrificing and giving up your true things and standards that you hold near and dear to your heart. But that's the biggest thing, is trying to make sure through those bad times, maybe someone unintentionally did something that we don't misinterpret it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was the one that was always trying to leave. I was like, y'all get out. Especially dealing with James.
Because
James
damn, they blowing up your spot.
Right. But look, I'm gonna say that.
Let me finish. And I'm like, I don't see what Shayla's seeing this nigga. But yeah, if it wasn't Shayla, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Hey, they do both hold it down, but I think it just, like you said, like getting past those hard times is what make your foundation more solid.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not the easiest dude to get along with, but listen, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm gonna hold them down, and I know I'm gonna, like, bring the best out of them, just like they bring the best out of me. So again, like, we're gonna bump heads. I'm not gonna be the first. I'm not always the first to be like, oh, you right. Oh, it's whatever. All right, but they got it. They do a good job of holding it down.
Yeah, that's all that counts.
TC has like a whole bunch of more loving things about him.
Yeah, I love him, guys.
I know, because at the end of the day, yeah, I'm more sure there's a lot of love there, because it's really because we had a lot of bad times. Like there was some fucking hard times, and we pushed through. You know what I mean? Just because our love, brought us back to it. Because there've been many times we say, "Fuck this." I left. There was a point I left. I got me a hotel room. I'm like, man, I was so dope with leaving too. Because I had this painting, not this one behind me, another painting. I took my painting and my TV because I had a pretty good TV. You ain't staying with my shit. And I went to the hotel. But, of course, it brought everything back. We kept the discussions. We pushed through, you know what I mean? Because it is like how we get over those. It's going to solidify us. So, I mean, shit, that's love right there. Most definitely. But let me try to get a couple more of these joints. How long have you guys been together? Oh, y'all said that. Oh, you want to let them know in case they came in late? How long have y'all been together? In case they missed it?
Oh, he just made it.
Oh, okay.
My wife wants whoever we bring into what?
To be bisexual, is that a prerequisite? I would say for us, it wasn't a necessary thing. Like if we had found someone that wasn't bi or wasn't interested, I don't think that's something we would force on them, because that's not right. But we would just have to see how she meshed with our relationship, because
because
I'm bi,
right.
So I need something, So we would have to see if that meshed, but I don't think it's a requirement.
Right, but it's not a requirement, because if I'm not mistaken, with your dynamic, the girls are not involved, right?
Yeah, they're not. Well, we used to have, like, behind closed doors. We have our own fun, but it's not the romantic part. Just because it became too much. The expectation of what I was doing for the next, it became too much, so we altered it. What's up, babe? But yeah, it's not really a requirement at all.
You just gotta find the right two people that work for you, and you can anything can be worked out if you talk it out.
Yeah, most definitely on that right there.
And I definitely understand what you're saying, like the relationship with your woman and how you guys had to alter it. Because I would say with me, that's a big thing, a new thing for me, like making sure I'm there as a girlfriend for Shante. And even in the beginning, it was something we really had to push through. But I feel like we're getting better at it.
Yeah.
Solidifying me and Shantae's romantic relationship.
Yeah, because it takes a lot. I think a lot of people just believe just because you're instantly bisexual or anything like that you're able to conquer two relationships. And it's actually a whole different mind frame. You know what I mean? That's your sexual preference, whatever, because you like all that. You could do it either way monogamously, dealing with a woman or a male. But doing two relationships, no matter what kind of sex they are, you know what I mean? There's a lot to fulfill into a person. And they got to juggle them and do all that. It's a lot. And then you still these things, too. It's a shit, trust me. I lost my hair behind this shit. I was a I kid. All right, during arguments, does anyone... I'm sorry. My bad. The wifey showed up, so I had to say hi real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, this for y'all. Does anyone mediate, or do you let the other two resolve it themselves?
We mediate.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, most of the time most part we mediate. One of us tries to kind of step in, unless
sometimes I feel like it's an argument. It feel like it depends on the argument. If it's too bad and like too rowdy, then sometimes it's bad to not get involved, because I'll go off on both of their ass quick. But and then I always feel like they taking each other's side too, so they will really like give me like, why the fuck you take her side every fucking time we get into it? But it depends on argument. But sometimes, most of the time, they mediate. But and like I said, like tell like Shayla, you're wrong, or James, you're wrong. Like listen to what she's saying, because you're wrong this time.
Yeah, we try to be a neutral mediator though, and I think at the same time, though, now that it's been a little over a year, like we know which arguments not to get involved in. And which ones that, okay, look, this has gone too far. Let's stop this type of thing. or hey, that is something that is just between them two. Like, I'm not gonna put my 2 cents in it. So it's juggling both. You have to balance both of them. But for the most part, we try to get that third perspective. I think it does one for a disagreement.
That's most definite. You know, how long did it take y'all to kind of, or what approach? Fuck it, I'm gonna ask it like this: kind of, what approach did y'all change to not make the person feel like you were taking somebody's side?
Pointing out both. So for me, I'll point out where both kind of veered, where both misinterpreted, because I'll talk to them separately, and then just for talking to them separately, like, I can see where the misinterpretation or where it went wrong. So then for me, I can kind of sit down and explain, like, hey, or to them separately, say, hey, well, you know, this did happen. You know, he definitely did that, but keep in mind, you know, you did X, Y, and Z. So, like, I remember one time with me and Shante, like, I had to remind her something she was complaining about him that she was doing at the same time. So it's kind of just slightly throwing it in there. And then with him, you definitely have to kind of tiptoe, because you have to, because if you keep going at him like, oh, you did that, he's going to be like, well, fuck you. I don't want to hear what you got to say. So go, you're taking her side. So I have to
I don't even talk to him when they get into it. I talk to her. I don't even
talk to him. You didn't do it. You like, fuck it. I'm like.
But but you also have to keep in mind, even if two are mad at each other, you can't leave the other one left out, because it's not fair to them.
They didn't do nothing.
You know what I mean? So that you have to kind of remind them, you know, as well. Like, hey, like, I didn't do nothing to you, so don't have an attitude with me. I'm trying to, you know, help the situation out.
Are good.
So
yeah, because I think that was one of the main challenges for myself when like they would get into it, just the oddness, you know what I mean? You know, feeling that like, yo, you taking somebody's side. So I had to really do it how you kind of said. I had to like take it apart of what each of them did, and then afterwards I'll make a suggestion. I'll be like, look, this is just a suggestion.
Right.
I ain't tell you to do it. I ain't saying nothing. It's just, you know, I'm just here, but this is y'all, because y'all are grown. You know what I mean? But it's like, really, you have to really articulate how you're taking on that situation, because then you'll find yourself in the mix. All of a sudden, you in this fucking argument. You just got home.
That's hold on. No, I was.
Yes. So that's why I sit there. I had to ask that question. I was trying to get one more question. I know I was about to I was about to come to an end. Oh shit! How did the mother of your How did I get it? How did the mother of your child react to your relationship? Oh, for James.
She threw like subliminals in there that she knew, because my daughter told her about it. Like, you know, kids, because my daughter's 5. So like they didn't Shantae's over there, but in my she didn't really come at me too foul, but she was just like wanting me to know that she knew type of situation. But I mean, our relationship was always kind of, you know, pull and tuck anyway. But I mean, it's good now. But and she don't want to cross too many lines where it'll cause an argument. So she just like do jabs in her that, like, I know you got 2 girls.
Right.
Like my daughter told you. My daughter told me.
Yeah, and then she made sure, like, me and her talked, because like I've been in the picture for a while, so she has my number. We communicate. So when she talked to me about it, was more so making sure make sure she wasn't confused, right. You know, or that it didn't, because she's so young. So even now when we talk about it, I talk to Athena as if I say, you know, she's my best friend. That's like how I refer to Shante for his daughter. But she just essentially just wanted to make sure there's that respect level, or that understanding that, hey, I understand you guys are doing what you're doing. And like James said, she threw in little subliminals. But make sure, you know, it doesn't negatively affect my daughter. So definitely. I think in the beginning, that's something definitely we had to pretty quickly deal with, because, you know, she immediately saw her, and immediately, you know, she's 5, so she says everything.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
She this, and went back to her mom's and said the same thing. So
most definitely. Like, we still got mad questions, but we only got 6 minutes left, and I just got to ask my last question, and it's for each of y'all. you know, for Shante, the people coming in, like I said, I hate to call them unicorns. I hate to call them, you know, Nene, I had her on. She said potentials, you know, whatever. What advice would you give them, you know, kind of like, you know, a perspective of things that they might see, advice to just keep them going, you know, coming into a relationship? What advice would you give them?
I would say don't let however long they've been together intimidate you. You know, they've been together for a long time, and you just can't get mad over the little things, because you have to remember that both of them, you know, eventually they're both going to love you. So you can't get jealous because if he kisses her or if he does little small things to her, but you don't get that same love or time right away, it doesn't mean that they don't like you or they don't love you. It's just something that they're used to doing, and eventually it'll come to you. But yeah, don't let, because that was a little bit intimidating, because I'm just like, what can I bring, what can I give you that you don't already have with her, because you've been with her so long? But you can't put yourself down like that, because obviously you bring something to the table too.
I like that. I like that. And James, how do y'all feel? What advice would y'all give for couples? You know what I mean? Going through everything y'all went through, you know what I mean? Seeing the people, then finally finding Shante at a, you know, organic state. What advice would you give them throughout this transition, throughout this process?
I'd say don't stress yourself out looking and trying to decide on someone. Don't break your foundation between each other because you want this so badly, right? You know, so, you know, again, don't go around the rules that you guys put or around the agreement that you guys made because you're trying to find someone so bad and trying to get someone to the relationship so badly. And then also realize, I think James mentioned earlier, that the first person you find might not be the one. Like if you're thinking about realistically, they may not be. You know, if you got your first shot, and yes, we've been very lucky to have Shante met us, but it's not always going to be the first one, and you can't force it. You can't make something happen. So just make sure that you take it very slowly, and you don't let this change or this you know, this potential partner ruin an already established relationship that you have just out of pure anxiousness relationship.
I'm doing that. And James, I'm gonna ask you one question, real quick. Got like 3 minutes. What do you got to tell the men that are taking on this because they just have a sex fantasy all the time? What do you have to say for the men that's looking for this?
I mean, every man thinks they want it and thinks they can handle it, but it's hard. Like just especially, I mean, even with the sex, it's like, especially if you have two women like I do with high sex drives, it's like, don't think you finna rest. You know what I mean? You gotta like they want to fuck and they want to fuck and they want to fuck. So it's like don't do it. And it's like it's just pleasing two women, and you got to get to know another woman, and you got to make both women happy and understanding that they have different love languages. Like Shayla like to be loved in different ways that Shante like to be loved, and it's sometimes it can be difficult balancing the two, and you got to understand that you can't love them the same way.
That's facts. That's facts. Man, I greatly appreciate y'all joining me tonight. We have like 1 minute left. You know what I mean? I'm glad y'all joined me. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna put this on the YouTube. And let me know when y'all want me to jump on y'all's joint. I'll make sure I tag the information for y'all's podcast and everything. Much love, family. Glad to have y'all on.
We'll see you in Houston, and hopefully we get to meet your wife.
Most definitely. Much love. All right, yo. Beautiful family. I only have like 50 seconds left. Yo, I'm gonna share they don't rush video. Shit was live. It was sexy. Trust